Hi, how you doing? It's Andy Bailey here with a guest blog post for DittoEffect.com. Now, Adam Clark and I were having a conversation about my WordPress plugin, Commentluv Premium, and my site, Commentluv.com. And Adam was giving me a little bit of advice about some of the things to do with that. And in that conversation, because I've been making so many videos, I offered to make a video for Adam because he was after guest blog posts. And I offered to make a video on his blog niche. And DittoEffect.com deals with, among other things, how to overcome shyness or anxiety when chatting with girls or meeting girls and having a conversation with them. And so this guest blog post is to do with 5 ways to overcome shyness. And this is from Bernardo Carducci's 19 Ways to Overcome Shyness at Work. So here we go. Tip number 1. Have a conversation roadmap. Because you see, there are 5 stages of a conversation, and if you know what those stages are, you will know where you are in that conversation and where it's leading to. So you're not lost, and that way you don't have a panic attack or anxiety about where the conversation is supposed to go, because you have a roadmap. So the 5 stages are: number 1 is the opening line, and that can be as simple as, "Hi, how you doing? Hello, nice to meet you." Because the simpler it is, the more confident you are in able to deliver that. And the second stage is to introduce yourself. The introductions. "Hi, I'm Andy Bailey from Tech Support." "Hi, I'm John from Delivery," and so on. And then the next stage, stage 3 and stage 4 work together. They are the general meat of the conversation. And that is where you try out different topics. You find the things that you have in common. So you explore those topics that you have in common. And then that makes the conversation easy. You're never grasping for things to talk about, because if you both have something in common, you don't really have to make that much effort to carry on the conversation. And the final stage of a conversation is, of course, closure. If you've built a rapport with this person, if you have lots of common topics that you've explored and you've got on with that person, this is where you would ask for their phone number, or ask to meet them later, or to have coffee, or to see them another time. And moving on to tip number 2, to warm up before parties. And that just means turning up to the party early, because you're going to have lots of people there and you have lots of conversations. So have the same quick chat with 8 to 10 people. And when you do that, that reduces the pressure on you to carry on the conversation, to be able to draw it out into a longer thing. So you're more confident in doing that. So if you're going to have lots of quick chats with 8 to 10 people around that party, then you're very quickly going to find out who is interesting. And then later on in the party, you can go back to those people that are most interesting to you and then carry on the conversation, get deeper into conversation. And because you're already familiar with them, there's no need to be shy, because you've already got over that bit before. Tip number 3 is to stay informed and say anything, which really means that if you're in a local meeting or a barbecue or a residence meeting, you want to just break the ice with someone, because that means that you're interested in talking. And the way to do that is to be informed on what's going on in the local news or in the general pop culture. And when you do that, you are comfortable talking about something that you are informed on, that you know about. And when you're doing this, there's 2 very important rules that you should pay attention to, things that you should avoid. You should not try to say things you think would impress people, because you can get caught out. Now, I know this to be true because I remember when I learned the word semantics. Now, actually, I didn't know what it meant, but I knew how it fitted in a conversation. I heard someone say it and I thought, that sounds quite intelligent. I wonder if I can say that to impress people. And I said, "Oh, well, let's not get into semantics here." And the person's response was, "Well, we're not getting into semantics. How is this getting into semantics?" And because I didn't know what semantics was, actually, I couldn't actually answer that question. And I ended up looking like a douche, which, is not really a comfortable thing to happen in a conversation. So I recommend that you don't say things to try and impress people. And another thing you should avoid is don't be judgmental or very opinionated on a particular subject, because that will prevent people from joining the conversation for fear of being criticized or for fear of you judging them. Because if you say something that you have a strong opinion on and they are someone that believes the opposite, they're not going to want to join in the conversation. So try to stay away from that. Okay, tip number 4, when you're approaching a stranger to have a conversation, you want to relive a confident moment. Now, surely you must try and remember a time when you shined inside and out, when it was your moment, when you was in the zone, and relive that moment. But, just in case you haven't had one of those moments, maybe you've been shy your whole life, or you just haven't been one of those people that have shined inside and out. Just try something simple. Imagine you're being asked for directions to somewhere that you know. Imagine, how'd you get to the 7-Eleven? Well, it's 2 streets up, turn left over the bridge, and then it's on your right. Now, if you know where somewhere is, precisely the directions to get there, there is no need to be shy because you know it. It is an exact thing. So imagine that you're being asked for directions to somewhere that you know, and have that in your mind as you're walking up, approaching this stranger that you're going to have a conversation with. And that will have an effect on the way that you walk, the way that you hold yourself, and the way you deliver your introductions and your opening line. Tip number 5 is become the Don Corleone of networking. Now, I don't mean take them outside and feed them to the fishes. I mean the Don Corleone of networking. That means figuring out how to help people connect. So if someone's looking to remodel their house and you know someone that does that kind of thing, having them connect to that person is helping them out. And I don't mean helping them out by offering to paint their walls for them, because that'll end up you suffering from the trials and tribulations of the nice guy syndrome. And if you have a look around dittoeffect.com, I'm sure you'll find an article there how not to be too much of a nice guy. And when you help people, it's very important that you help them more than the importance of helping yourself. Because when you help people, when you bring them together, then you become powerful. People will seek you out, just like Don Corleone. Go and speak to Godon Vinny. He will help you with your problem. So you get a certain amount of power. People will seek you out. And when people seek you out and perceive you as powerful, you will feel that power. And then powerful people aren't shy, or at least it doesn't show that they are. So that's how you can help people and help yourself at the same time. So there you go. There are the 5 ways that you can overcome shyness. Or even if you're not shy, there are 5 ways that you can handle yourself in a situation where you're having a conversation, in a party, or at work, or at a barbecue. And I hope this has helped, and I hope you've enjoyed this video from dittoeffect.com and with me, Andy Bailey, from commentluv.com. And if it hasn't, leave a comment. If it has, leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you thought.